Hello, it's Dominique. The next step, I had made the video and I was like 2-3 videos ahead of time, and by mistake I dumped it from my camera, so I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to show you. It's very easy with the stage that I've done. So what I've done is I've piled up all my pages, all the pages with a flap from the narrower up to the larger, and I did the same with the pile of gussets which are here. So what I did is I changed my flap for a larger one because I decided that it would go on top here, and I want to have enough for decoration, and also because I wanted to have enough for making an interaction in it, because you'll see how I built this, but I want to show you that here I allowed quite a bit of space in the gusset for this one, so I kind of need to have an interaction in there. So I changed it for wider. It was like this wide. Also, one thing I have written on the first video, on the number 1 of this tutorial series, that you have to check all the videos just in case I have made a mistake and I want to rectify it, because this is the first time I make this one. I've made this one, but I mean this particular one, and especially that I'm making adjustments because I had made mistakes on that one, so I want to be sure that it's good. But so far it's good. So what I've done is I've piled up those two, so the pages from the narrower to the wider, and the gussets from the narrower to the wider. And so I started with my my flap, and what I had done too is my gussets, I'll show you, I have one gusset here that I have made by mistake. So I folded on my line that I've scored, I fold it like this, just 90 degrees, not more than that, because it won't go more than 90 degrees. This is all folded 90 degrees. So I did that on both sides, and I fold each side. So you have to make sure you do that. And then also what I've done is I've tapered my corners. I don't go all exactly to the corner because I want to leave like a 32nd of an inch, or maybe a 16th of an inch, because when I'm going to glue my sheet, my pattern paper on this, I don't want to see the corner. Like this one I have not done right, but these are right. See, I left a little bit flat here so that when my paper comes here, I don't get to see the tapered paper. So I left a little bit here, okay? And so I taper those, and what I do is I put the glue on it, and what I have done to make sure that it folds right, I got it here. So you put the glue here, and then I put my flap on top. Well, this one I put that one on top, but then I changed my way of doing it. So I put always the page on top, because if you put the gusset, if you glue it inside, it might interfere with the gusset here of the flap, and we don't want that, because then it wouldn't fold right. So you have to glue it on the back of the pages. So you do that here. You make sure you press it, and when you glue it, you have to make sure that you see the fold here. When you fold it, you have to see the fold, because if you don't see it, that means your page is or your flap is glued too much inside the gusset and it won't fold. So you have to make sure you check, you test it, see if it folds, and then you have to kind of see the fold so that they all bend or fold 90 degrees. And then what I did is I did the same with the page. So the next page I take and I do the same. I do like this and I do like this, one after the other. And you make sure you have the right order, because you don't want to interchange the flaps, or I mean the pages or the gussets. So you keep going like that, and they're all glued onto the back, as you can see, and then all the way here, and then you have all your pages. And when you fold them, you can see that it's folding right, and we have all the space we need for the interactions, for the photos. Look at all that. And here you can see very well, if I put that flat, but slightly flat, because I still allow all the space here, you can see that here I have a lot. I shouldn't have allowed that much gusset. I could still fold it if I wanted to. Maybe that's what I'll do. Or I put some interaction inside here, which is okay too. So just to fill up the gap here. And either you put ribbons, or I think I'm going to put 2 big magnets here, because I like when it goes click like this, and then you go click like this. And if I do that, I have to put that on top of my interaction so that it really magnetizes to here. So I would not put the magnets right now here, because it's going to be something on top. So when you're putting magnets, make sure you put your magnets on the last layer, just underneath the last layer of paper. So maybe what I'll do is, after I've done all that, I'm going to cover the last flap of the accordion, and that's when I'm going to put my my magnets before I put the pattern paper on that last flap, so it goes like click like this, and it doesn't open too. So we'll be doing that, and also I will be making, in the next videos, I'll be making some interactions. You don't have to make the same as mine, so you can do whatever you want. If you like others, you just do the other ones. And as long as you make your interaction, and you have to think of the photos that will be inside, it has to be within the 1/8 of an inch. So I wouldn't go like 3 or 4 flaps and then that on top, because then this wouldn't fold. So if you make any interaction, make sure you don't have more than a couple flaps or a couple of pockets, so that everything stays within the 1/8 inch gusset or last flap. This is going to be our last flap. Everything has to be within the page. So either one here, you can have 2 pockets, and then a couple here, and you know, not more than that, because you have to allow space for the photos as well. And you want this to really close and be perpendicular like this. So I'll be continuing with interactions, suggested interactions, but you don't have to follow the rest of them. If you want to look at the interactions, give you ideas, you can do so. If you want to do your own, you just keep going, and then you can check out maybe the last video where I'm going to reveal the result. And I just want to tell you what I'll be using. I will be using preserved paper. I really like this paper collection. I use it all the time. Because lately in the craft fairs, I'm pretty out of vintage items, vintage paper or vintage looking papers. So I'll be using this one so that I can have some vintage stuff, because all the girly or kid stuff is still there, but not the vintage. So that's why I'm making a couple projects. So I'm probably making 2 of this, so that I have a couple for people to pick from. So stay tuned, and then especially check the reveal of the project. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I suggest you do so, because more videos, more tutorials, project share videos will be coming, so you can learn and get inspired maybe by some of my ideas. Hopefully that's how I get my ideas. I check other people's videos, and then I can see what they do, and then sometimes inspires me. I never copy the same, like I do not follow a tutorial or anything, but it just gives me some ideas. Oh, I like that kind of flap, so I'm going to do that next time, you know, kind of things like that. So you can also visit my scrapbooking page. Yeah, it's called Scrapbooking Freak. No, I mean Facebook page, sorry. It's called Scrapbooking Freak, but you pretty much see the same stuff as I put on my YouTube channel. Sometimes pictures or little messages, which I don't do on my YouTube channel, but you can do so. And also, if you subscribe to my channel, please click on this little bell so that you get notified every time I have a new video coming up, so you get to see everything. So thank you for watching, and until next time, happy scrapping. Bye bye.